Hey there! In this video, I'll be discussing about how to restart your life. When we feel the need we have to restart something, so make a big change, usually it's because we are feeling lost. We feel that our life isn't moving towards the direction that we want it to go. Perhaps we feel we're doing meaningless work. Now, many people here on YouTube will talk about doing these big changes. So, for example, changing your mindset, changing jobs, location. Although these changes are beneficial, even in the long term, I feel that they miss the root cause. Why do you feel you need to restart your life in the first place? It's kind of like what we want to do with computers when there's a bug. I have a bug, so I cross my fingers, hope that a restart will fix the issue and that the computer will work properly and normally. I don't think that action alone will provide the right solution. So, in this video, I'll be discussing about the real reason why you feel you need to restart your life, what this actually implies. So I'll be talking about chakras, about success, and the unconscious. And finally, as always, I'll end this video with a simple solution that allows you to restart your life, but in the way that will motivate you and energize you throughout your whole life. To start off this video, I wanted to ask myself, where does success actually come from? Because when I think of feeling lost and feeling that life isn't really going how I wish it would go, it usually means that I don't feel progress. I don't feel that I am successful. Now, there are two ways how we can define success. First is material success. That's probably what most of us know, meaning we have a lot of knowledge or we have many possessions. It's the success that we can see with our own eyes and actually measure. Now, the other success is the hidden success. It's what we talk when we say, I feel progress. What do I mean by that? Meaning that progress kind of correlates with the idea of success. It also has two ways that it can be seen. You can see material progress, meaning that you gain points, you achieve more, and you can also feel progress. So it necessarily doesn't mean that you get more. You just feel happy, excited, energized, fulfilled. It's a positive emotional experience. To feel more progress, to feel excited, not necessarily because we materialistically are gaining more, but because we are filling this inner void we have inside of us. I believe it has to do a lot with our chakras. Now, our chakras have many functions, but one of the main functions is to direct specific energy in the areas of our life that need it most. Now, this energy that I'm talking about is not necessarily just action. It is also not just thoughts, our conscious thoughts. The best way how I can explain it is creativity, where you can have energy, you can have potential, but unless you direct it into a creative way, into a direction that actually is useful and impacts other people's lives positively, then it's just kind of wasted energy. It doesn't feel meaningful. Maybe a better example I have is, imagine you had to build a house. Now you can build a house which is doing something. You can plan for it, which could be your conscious thinking. But unless you can find a family that needs the shelter, or a person that really needs this big mansion, then even if you build it, it will be abandoned. It won't be used, and you won't feel that your effort in building this house was meaningful, it had an impact, and that it was fulfilling in the end. Now, coming back to the chakras, when our chakras are working properly, this creativity is channeled in the right areas of our life. It can be in our work, in our personal development, in our relationships. However, because we don't just experience positive things, we also experience negative things, it affects us. And eventually, we go into these periods where we feel down. Maybe we have fallen off the path of purpose, and we kind of fall into a slump. This is when our creativity is not being used. And when we look at the chakra system, what we see is that blockages form. So to solve this, what we would want to do is to clean out those blockages, to finally restore the creativity in those areas of life that we need to. But you're probably asking the same question as I am. That's great, but I don't know where. This is the exact problem that I'm having right now. I feel lost. What is the place where I am meant to put my creativity in? I am meant to sacrifice many hours and enjoy the fulfillment that comes with it. Here is where a more subtle solution comes into play: connecting to unconscious. Now, in this video, I wanted to go in a bit deeper in what actually unconscious is and where it lies in our body. Part of our unconscious, where the chakra system also lives in the water in our body. Now, this water is a special water. It's more like a gel form, and it lives in all of our cells. The best way to describe the special power that this water gel has is to imagine it was a surface with many radio towers. And these radio towers receive and transmit information from unconscious to our conscious mind. For example, you get a divine message, a warning that today you shouldn't be driving your car. It just comes to you. Well, how is that possible? You're not really supposed to know this knowledge. You don't really know the future. It is unconscious that is warning you of a danger. This is possible because your radio towers, so the water gel, receives this divine message because you have tuned into higher frequencies. Now, as I mentioned previously, we do go through these periods of life where we're feeling more down, maybe depressed, just lost at what we're actually here on Earth. We don't feel a sense of meaning. And this influences our ability to receive high-frequency messages, divine messages. The more we feel lost, the more we stay in this low, heavy energy period, the less of a chance we'll have at receiving divine messages. Now, how does this correlate with the chakras? If we can increase the range of our radio towers, we can increase the higher frequencies. This will allow our unconscious to really start healing those blockages and clean them up. How do you do this? Well, there are two ways to increase the frequency of the water gel: physically and non-physically. Physically, you can have sun exposure, infrared light, go to saunas, breathe in hydrogen, grounding as well. That's touching the ground with your bare feet and hands. But in this video, I wanted to more talk about what you can non-physically do. What you can literally do right now while you're watching this video. And it's asking this simple question. If I had abundance, if money and time were unlimited, what would I be doing right now? And really reflect on the thought that comes to you. Even if it is a grandiose idea, if it is an idea that you feel is impossible to implement right now, don't worry. Stick to it. Know that it came with meaning, that it's a divine message, and just re-engineer. Really think through the steps you have to take to get to the point where it can become a possibility. On the other hand, if, unfortunately, you asked yourself this question, you took the time to reflect, but nothing really practical came. Either you did have an idea, but you're lost in how to actually implement it in real life, or you just got a confirmation that you don't really want to be continuing what you're doing right now. Maybe you need to take a big break from your stressful life, but you're clueless as to what am I supposed to do next? Don't worry, I have a solution for you. This is where tools like astrology, numerology, and psychic insight can help. I really advise you to find somebody who's experienced in these fields, such as myself, and have them be the radio tower that tunes into high frequencies and receives the divine messages that are being sent to you by unconscious. Now, this kind of brings the point of, isn't unconscious individual, or is it not? Well, actually, unconscious is a collective mind. The best way how I can describe it is, imagine we're all in the ocean and we're fish, just swimming in the ocean. The ocean is the unconscious mind, and the fish, which each of us represent, is our conscious mind, our individual personalities, our identity. So, because we all are swimming in the same unconscious mind, therefore, my radio towers can receive divine messages that are trying to be sent to your individual fish brain. Next, what I would do is after I receive the divine message, I will use astrology. Now, why is that? Simply because maybe many of you also have the experience of somehow getting these divine messages through and realizing that many times they are very general. They don't really come with much nuance. They don't come with much color. For example, you might have a warning of, you need to pivot right now. But your next question will be, okay, where? In my work? In my personal life? In my relationships? Where am I supposed to pivot? And that's why astrology really helps, because it uses your birthday. Your birthday is individual. And in each birthday, the stars, the planets, have a specific pattern. There's a specific configuration. And somehow they make sense and give the color that is needed to personalize the divine message to your own life. So imagine I get a picture that is black and white from the unconscious, and I use astrology to color it in, to add some colors, yellow, red, blue. Finally, the next obstacle that I have is timeline. The timing is very important because, taking the same example, you need to pivot. Okay, with astrology, I figure that you need to pivot in your work. But the next question is when? When do I need to pivot? How long do I maybe need to continue this work before I pivot? How long do I need to prepare? How long do I need to wait? And how long will this pivot last? Do I need to prepare for another pivot? Who knows? So timing is very important, and I personally find that numerology helps a lot with this. It's like I have the picture now with colors, but I need that timestamp to really understand what are we talking about? Which year do we need to focus on? After I have used numerology and I understand the years where you need to pivot, the years where specific roles and opportunities will be the most successful for you, I finally end my work with a step-by-step guide. Simple introductory steps, immediate steps in starting to live life with your direction, your purpose, using your talents, your skills, your life experience in helping people solve pain points that they currently have and feel fulfilled by it. Feel the progress that you create. To summarize, you want to restart your life. That's already a first step. Now, the second step is understanding that there are some blockages in your chakras. Your creativity is not being used in the right area of your life. That's why you want to really connect to your unconscious. So tune into high frequency messages that you're receiving. Now, this might be really hard in our everyday life. Either you can increase your ability to receive the divine messages by physically stimulating your body through sun exposure, through grounding, through breathing hydrogen, or what you can do non-physically is asking yourself the abundance question. Really reflect upon it and take note of whatever thought, whatever emotion comes above. Now, if you asked yourself this question and unfortunately you didn't really get a practical answer or you still feel lost, don't worry. Reach out to somebody who is experienced in astrology, numerology, and has a bit of psychic insight, and have them help you decipher those divine messages and create a step-by-step plan with immediate steps in how to redirect your life towards purpose, how to find the opportunity, the businesses, the roles that you are meant to do in your life, and finally feel fulfilled, happy, and feel progress. That's a real restart towards your whole lifetime. That's it for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.